Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome to Healing with Hila. This is your space for aligning, expanding, and reconnecting with who you truly are. I'm your host, Hila Kedem Ferguson. I'm a transpersonal hypnotherapist, manifestation coach, and sound creator. Thank you so much for inviting me into your life. Hello, my beautiful souls. I am very grateful to be here and share this episode with you. There are going to be some pretty major updates today that are going to tie into a piece of the lesson that I've received from Spirit when I was just away on vacation in the waters. I think I will start with the announcement that for now, this is going to be our last episode of Healing with Hila. Still run my exclusive podcast, Midnight Thoughts, on my Patreon platform. We have them every other week. And as of right now, I have 83 episodes for you guys. And I highly recommend that if you've been enjoying my teachings and enjoying listening to this podcast, that you join me on that platform. It's only $18 a month, and it unlocks all the episodes for you guys, as well as my guided meditations. You receive one every month, and I think we have over 20 on the platform that is available for your own journeys, and they're absolutely phenomenal. And again, like I said, I really hope that if you enjoy what we've been doing for almost 2 years on this platform, that you join me on the other one. So you get to still connect with my teachings and the guidance that I receive, and in a more intimate way, even just sharing a little bit more private pieces that come through for me. I would love to continue to support you. And I wanted to thank you for being my listeners, for tuning in and being a part of this journey that has been absolutely phenomenal for me. I really, really appreciate it. And I don't know what the future holds. I might come back to it. But for right now, Spirit is asking me to adjust. And which leads me to our episode today that is all about that lesson. When I was in the waters, the last trip we've taken, I've had this really meaningful experience and this powerful lesson that came through, and that I really, really wanted to share with you. I was in the waters and the weather was not that great. The waves were really big, and I had to swim into a deeper part of the ocean in order to kind of ride them out past their breaking point. And it was really interesting to be connected to the waters in that way. It made me have to be a lot more aware and a lot more diligent as the waves were coming, and how to navigate them and kind of move through them and make sure that I don't go under because of them, and kind of ride their flow. And they already gave me such a powerful lesson around flow that I've connected with and shared with you guys on this platform. And they said to me that this is kind of a follow-up lesson for what they've already given me. And it is the lesson of adjusting. They showed me how I have to constantly adjust. If I want to be able to ride the waves and be in a space of pleasure and enjoyment in this moment, which actually was absolutely wonderful, I was having so much fun, I had to be open to adjusting. That adjustment is such a important piece of flow that the ocean is teaching us. In order to be able to maintain what the ocean is doing, it has to adjust. As it adjusts every wave, some of the waves were breaking far ahead. Some of the waves were breaking close to me. Then the waves were breaking closer to shore. The piece around also wave breaking was incredibly important. And that's what they said to me. That part of the journey of adjusting, even in our lives, include a breaking point. That it's okay to break and shatter. that it's part of our journey. It's how we adjust, is how we reset ourselves into a space of flow and connection. And being in the waters, really learning about this piece of adjustment. I hold myself in high standards with the work that I do. When I commit to something, I stick to it. I've done this podcast and I have not missed one episode over the course of almost 2 years through all of my life's journeys and obstacles, and through all of it, I've maintained this constant because I felt like it was very important, and it was important. I take a lot of pride in my ability to stay very true to my task and stay in integrity and focus. And it was already coming to me that I needed to make some adjustments because when I was sitting to record the podcast recently, I've been feeling a need for adjusting. But at the same time, I was really struggling with the idea of stopping to do something that I'm committed to. And it was really an incredible lesson when I was in the water and Spirit was talking to me. And they were saying, the space of adjustment has to happen. And the way we adjust needs to be very much centered and connected to pleasure. Just because we said yes to something that has given us tremendous pleasure and opportunities of expansion does not mean that we can't take a moment and adjust our course of action. And the adjustment does not need to be major. It doesn't need to be big, but we do need to pay attention to it. And we need to pay attention to the way that we feel in order to adjust. And they said to me that my life needs to be driven by pleasure. It needs to be driven by this positive feeling of uplifting. And if I am creating from a space of obligation and not necessarily from a space of pleasure, I need to take a better look at it. And I really feel like this is a lesson that a lot of us needs to hear. A lot of us hold ourselves as high accountability. We feel like we need to push through things. And we forget that we first create vibrationally, not physically. And we have to clean up our vibration in order for whatever it is that we are doing to truly reach the level that it can, the highest potential, the highest good that it can reach. And again, sometimes the changes that we need to make are really minor. They're just in the way that we feel about something. They're adjustment and a readjustment that's very small. And sometimes the changes that we need to make are bigger, like stopping something that we've started that is no longer serving us and giving ourselves freedom in other ways. And it was really enlightening to receive this lesson from Spirit as I was riding the waves. And they kept saying to me, watch the water adjust. Watch the way the water, the ocean, the sea adjusts itself. It has to. It has to when it comes to the wind and the movement of the earth and the weather and the rains. It has to adjust or it would never be able to maintain its eternity. And you have to give yourself permission to do the same. You have to follow your bliss. You need to adjust. And it's been interesting because, again, like I mentioned, I've really been feeling this tug and this calling to make an adjustment. And I just really didn't know how. I have limited time in which I can create. And there's a few projects that have been really tugging at me. I want to finish my card deck. I've created this incredible card deck, Manifest Today and Tonight, that is so awesome. It's affirmations that are completely related and tuned to my music. And it just gives me so much joy when I work on it. And I just haven't been able to find a time to do it because I've been busy in other projects. I've created the method Dance to Manifest that happened before the music even showed up. That is so incredibly powerful. That has truly proven itself to me in my personal life to yield miracles. And I can't wait to finish developing it and creating it so it can be here for others. And again, it requires a level of adjustment. And I have to give myself permission to follow that intuition and to give myself permission to let go of pieces that have served and have done their purpose, have done their serving. And being in the waters and just really allowing this lesson to wash over me gave me the clarity that I really needed. And in a way, the permission I felt like I needed from my soul to take a better look at where I'm at in my life and what I'm doing and make some adjustments that are going to serve myself, my personal life, my family, my health, as well as my audience, the people that I'm really truly here to support. The music has been such a huge piece of pleasure for me. I want to be able to have more time in creating in that way. And it's created such an enormous impact for my society, for the people around me. I'm able to reach millions of people in the most incredible, fun, joyous, pleasurable way. And I want to be able to have the time to do more of that. And again, holding myself so tightly because of the idea of the things that I'm committed to, that I'm supposed to be doing, and not giving myself permission to adjust has done serving me. And I want that to be a lesson for you guys to really take a look at what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're committed to, and that you're doing just for the sake of the idea that you need to do it, and not necessarily because your soul is still pushing you and driving you in that direction, and make some adjustments. And again, the adjustments can be small or it can be large. And it was a really interesting lesson because as I was in the waters and really enjoying the waves and just being in a space where I had time on my own, my kids were taken care of, I didn't have to do anything. I was really appreciating this time by myself to connect to spirit and to receive messages. They said to me, they said, you're going to need to open yourself to some micro adjustments. And there's this idea, right, that something is pleasurable, but then it stops being pleasurable. In a moment, if the wind picks up a little extra and you begin to feel cold, then it's really not fun anymore being alone in the waters riding the waves. If the waves are getting too choppy and too crazy, and you're finding yourself really having to avoid big ones and not being dragged under, you're going to need to adjust. If you're going to feel hungry and you're going to feel your body calling you to do something else, you won't want to stay in the water. And just this idea that this practice that gives you so much joy is here and you have the time to do it does not mean that you have to stay doing it, that you need to take a moment and really scan how you're feeling in this very moment and make a decision about it. And I feel like that's another piece. So many of us have an idea of what our pleasure looks like, what it should look like. And it's true that it does serve that, whatever it is that you're enjoying doing, pursue that. However, make a micro adjustment. If you love taking baths and you're in the bath and you're having the time of your life and you're so relaxed and it's wonderful, but then the water begins to feel cold and you have no way of warming it back up, then you might want to make an adjustment. Just because you love taking baths does not mean you need to stay there longer. If your body is calling you to eat or go do something else, you need to listen to it. And so many of us follow the idea of pleasure versus the actual feeling of pleasure in that moment. And it requires this minor adjustments that need to happen because what's been serving us in this very moment might not serve us in the next moment. And our pleasure might be sitting somewhere else. Our joy might be sitting somewhere else. And in order to really receive the fullest from our lives and maintain this alignment and this balance and our highest good, we have to pay attention to that. We really have to pay attention. And I really wanted to share this incredible lesson of adjusting. It felt so powerful to be introduced to it and to be shown how that is so much partnered to the lesson of flow. and to really give myself permission, and hopefully for you guys, to allow some adjustments in your lives and allow things to just feel better as you adjust. And that's the thing. If you adjust and it still doesn't feel right, adjust again. Allow yourself to examine it again, shift again. Nothing is constant. You get to continue to choose the path of least resistance and most pleasure. And I want that to be a driving force in your life because it feels really important to our well being. And even today, I'm being called to adjust. My episodes are normally 30 minutes and more, and I've stayed very consistent in that. And it's hard to notice how this is coming to an end and how Spirit is asking me to adjust once more. And once I'm finishing speaking to you about this lesson, to really close it down much shorter than I normally do, and give myself permission for that, because what I'm here to speak about has been spoken, and you get to really receive the impact of the lesson like I received it, and hopefully take from it what you need and allow it to trickle in and trickle down and notice how it shows up in your life. And I really, really hope that if you enjoy what we've been creating, first of all, you have over 40 episodes to revisit. There has been so much incredible knowledge passed through me and to you guys on this platform. I am so deeply grateful for the opportunity to be able to be that channel and to really move through the knowings that Spirit wanted me to bring forward. It has been such a gift and such a pleasure. And it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So you get to revisit so much of that, and so many of the guided journeys I've included as part of this platform. And I hope that it gives you the push to find me on Patreon. It's Hila Ferguson, and to join my light tier where you get to listen to Midnight Thoughts and unlock all those other episodes and listen to the meditations and be part of my core community. I really hope that our journey together will maintain. I hope that you allow my music to uplift you, to integrate the lessons that we talk about. So it's here for you daily, Dance to Manifest, as well as Sounds to Manifest, which is our sound journey that, again, I share a lot more too on my other podcast, Midnight Thoughts. And again, I just wanted to thank you. You've been such a driving force in my creative process. I really appreciate you finding me and listening to me and being part of Healing with Hila journey. I can't wait to build the card deck and have it offered to you guys. I cannot wait to have the process of manifestation dance, which is dream, allow, new narrative, create and expand, to manifest your life and offer you that course. It's absolutely magic. I really can't wait for that to grow. And I hope that we get to continue connecting. Feel free to share anything in the comments section. Feel free to email me at hila.door2change@gmail.com. If you want to share anything, if there's anything I can continue to support you with. Again, thank you for being such an incredible audience. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for inviting me into your lives. So much love your way. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Healing with Hila. If you'd like to explore more, join our amazing community on Patreon for my Midnight Thoughts exclusive podcast and so much more. Thank you so much for inviting me into your life. So much love your way.